All right, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to finally equip the primary weapon for now. We probably going to do the secondary weapon in the next video, but for now we're going to do the primary weapon. So the goal is when we click the button once, for now, it should spawn the primary weapon in the back of the character. So if we go to our inventory icon, and then with the inventory button, we can simply remove this. On click, we need to get a reference to the player. So let's go to the event graph. Event graph. We're gonna say get player pawn. We're going to cast it to our player and promote this to a variable for player. And down here, we get the player, check to see is valid. And if it is valid, we need to create a function in our character to equip the primary weapon. But first, if we go to the player character, I'm gonna create a use function so that way I can do different things based off the use function. Instead of having to create multiple function here, let's just create a function in the character, call it use item. We need an input of the item info, and item info. Item info, and then in the button we simply say use item, and in the info, item info is the item info we have in the inventory button icon or button. We'll pass it here. Okay, so double click this. Down here we need to check to see if the item that we're interacting with, if it's even valid before we even do anything. Okay, so back to the character, we're gonna break this. We're gonna take the class and we're going to say is valid to make sure it's a valid class so we don't get unnecessary errors. Now if it is valid, let me double check my notes so I don't waste time. Okay, if it is valid on the item type, we need to do a switch on item type if it's valid to do different thing based on the type of the item. So if it's a health item, we know we need to, whenever we click the button, we need to increase the player health. If it's food, do the same thing. Backpack, equip it, yada yada yada. So if you want to see, we can, on the weapon, we can print string saying equip weapon. So now if we go and take a look, if we pick up a weapon, we click on it, equip weapon. All right, so in the character, let me start closing some of these. Input, we don't need this. Keep the event graph open. We're gonna create a function, a custom event, say call server, or let me just put as VR, not equip, spawn weapon because we're not equipping the weapon. We just spawn it in our on our character back. So spawn weapon, or I should say spawn primary weapon. Yeah, and make sure it's run on server reliable, so that way this happen regardless if anything else is going on. So now we need a new variable, say primary info of the type item info. Okay, so instead of this being replicated, we need it to be a rep notify, and a rep notify is, for example, let's say 2 players connected to the game, both of us connected to the game. Let me bring this here, and this guy started to pick up some item because the item is replicated, and the player who's watching, which is this guy, because he's connected at the same time and he's right in front of me, he can see the item being destroyed. Okay, so now let's say this there was a door, and then he wasn't here, he wasn't connected to the server, and I open the door or I pick up this item or I destroy an item, but he wasn't there, right there in front of me or close by. If he comes back where I'm at, he will still see the item, or the door will still be closed for him. Okay, so that's the difference between the rep notify and replicated. I'm pretty sure Epic got a better explanation for this, but just know anytime you want something to be, let's say, persistent in the world, anytime you want something to be persistent in the world, and when a player connect at a later time, you need to use the rep notifier instead of the replicated. Or if you want to show some item on a character or attach an item. I hope I'm explaining it right. It's kind of weird. So we're gonna grab it and set it, and we're gonna plug the input here. Anytime you set an item to rep notify, it creates a function for you. Okay, so if we double click this, now we on rep primary info. So what we need to do, we need to spawn the item in the world, right? So we say spawn actor from class. And where do we get the class? Well, we get it from the primary info. If we break it, we have a class, and it is a transform. So we get the player mesh. We say get socket transform. Come on, I know I can type today. Socket transform. We're going to add another variable to our item info, but for now, let's just say the bone in the character that we want to attach the weapon is, let's say, back right. Okay, and then we plug this in. So for the instigator and the owner, let's just type self and promote the return value to a variable, not a local variable, just a variable. Call it primary reference. And this one, you do need to replicate this one. Okay, so now let's go take a look. I already know a lot of things gonna messed up because the one, we don't have the back socket. So I think if we pick it up, equip, yeah, nothing happened because we don't have the back socket. Right, so let's go on to Let's go to our mesh, mesh, the skeleton, whatever skeleton you're using. I'm gonna add mine on the spine, add socket, rename it, we call it BR. Okay, let's see. For now, I'm gonna leave it like this for now. Oh, come on. It's bigger. Pick up a weapon. Oh yeah. We do need to create the variable before, I'm sorry. So the variable we're going to create, let's go to the inventory. Let me create a folder for all the weapons. Weapons. And we need to create a structure for weapon info. Okay, weapon info. And we need another one for the, we're gonna name it weapon class. And for the weapon class, we need 3 entry. The first one would be primary. The second one, we guessed it, secondary. And the third one, we say pistol / melee. Because on this slide, you can either equip a melee or a pistol. Okay. So on the item weapon info, we say weapon class and name it weapon class. Let me double check my notes so I can speed this up. Weapon info. Okay. And we need equip socket, which is a name, and we need unequip socket, and we also need one for the muzzle. So if you have different flash, you can plug it here. And we also need one for shell, like if you wanna, we're gonna add the shell ejection on the weapon, so we need one for that too. And we need fire sound, and this one going to be sound Q. And reload sound. You can either put the reload sound on the weapon, I will show you that later, or you can just have a designated sound for it. Reload sound. And we can also have equip sound if you want that, or if you want a sound for when you drop the weapon. So drop sound. And now we need one for damage, how much damage the weapon does, and we need range, and we need spread, the bullet spread amount. We need recoil amount, and we also need one for the current health of the weapon, and I'll show you what this is for later. And max health, and we can need another one that says if the weapon is dirty. So for example, let's say if you want the character have to clean their weapon, and with the current health, that's going to be the progress bar at the bottom. To, for example, every time the player shoot the gun, you can decrease it, so when it hits 0, now you say the weapon is dirty, or if you want to break the weapon, whatever you want to do. So this is what this is for, the current health and the max health, and this is the variable that's going to control it. Now we need one for current ammo. This one is going to be an integer. We need one for the max ammo. Why am I saying amount? ammo. We need one for clip. Let's say mag size. Yep. And pick up ammo, ammo, ammo. Now, if you want to pick up the ammo on the ground, and we also need the muzzle particle, and this one is gonna be a particle system. Yep, or if you want to use the Niagara one, you can use that one. So this is what we have. Okay. So now let me show you, because we need to adjust something in the pickup function. But because we already set these variables right here, okay? So whenever you are messing with your structure, you need to be careful, because when they break, they can mess up your project, right? So the first thing you need to do, save your project, save everything, all right? Do a couple of save from everywhere. Now you open the item info. We're gonna add a new variable, and we're gonna call it weapon info, and we're gonna switch it to the weapon info. Save, just save the item info. Don't click save all. Just simply click save for the item info and close your project. It's gonna ask you, do you wanna save everything? Just say no, don't save. And now you can reopen your project again. Trust me, if you do it the way I just did, you will never break your structure ever again. So now when it opens, okay, open everything. Go back to the player on the pickup item. Here we simply just plug this right here and plug this right over there. Okay, now we save, and if I let me close some of these. Yeah, let me close some of these. Okay, close this. Now we can hide unconnected pin. Okay, hide unconnected pin. Matter of fact, if we can promote this to a local variable for less wiring, let's promote to no, let's leave it like that. Okay, so back to the on rep notify. Yeah, for the primary weapon, right? If you double click this, on rep notify. Now what we need to do on the item info where we break it, we need the weapon info. We're gonna break the weapon info, hide unconnected pin, and we need the unequipped socket. Okay, so we need the unequipped socket, and then here we need to say attach actor to component. The target will be the primary reference, the parent where you which character you attaching the weapon to, which is ourselves. We're gonna get the mesh. We're gonna say snap to target, snap to target, snap to target, and the socket name will be the same as over here. We click it, and then like that. Okay, we're not done yet. We need to go to the weapon database, the item database, I should say. So now if we go here, remember we named the unequipped weapon, I think we say BR for this one, and for now let's just put it for the both of them. Okay, we say BR also, and save. Now let's let's delete these because they're not gonna be updated. Come on, select, boom. And on the weapon, no, it's still in the inventory. Child, let's get this. Like a few of them here, like a few of them there, and save. Now if we go and pick up a weapon, click it once. Interesting. What am I doing? Oh, I know what. I'm so ahead of myself. Okay, so on the use item, okay, if it's a weapon, what we're going to do, we're gonna say server spawn weapon, okay, and the item info will be the item info from the use. You know what, let's promote this to a local variable so that we don't have a lot of wires going on. Let's say promote to local variable, say local item info, and we're gonna set it here and compile and save. Get the local item. Let's just plug this right here to make it look a little bit nice. And we go like this. Now, if we go and check it, come on. If we go and check it, pick up. Aha, see? Now we just gotta go adjust the position on the character mesh. So let's go to the mesh. Let's grab BR, and then let's add a preview asset, M4A1, and you can position yours however you want, but mine, let's click the snap, great. Mine, I'm going to 180. If you press space bar, you can cycle through these, scale, rotate, and select. You hit space bar, 80, and like that. Okay, and position it right there. Oh, not the scale. Okay, you can play with it a little bit to fit your needs. Me, I'm gonna put mine like that. Okay, compile. Let me save it. Save all. Now, if we go and pick up, this is. Let me go up the server. Put the server over here, and this is the client. This is the server. So now, if I pick up the weapon with the server, equip the weapon, now it's on my back. Now the client can see it on my back. Okay, see? Now with the client, if I get the AK and then I go here, equip it, voila. Now for both of them, everybody can see everything. Now, there we go. And we're gonna stop it here because this video already getting too long. And we're simply going to do the same thing we did for the primary, for the secondary, in any other item you want. For example, the vest, the helmet, any other item, we're gonna repeat the same process. So, and then the next video, few video down the line after we do all the equipment, we're going to do the weapons swap. Like if you press 1, you equip the primary, press 2, unequip the primary, equip the secondary, like I showed you on the teaser video. So with that being said, Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video. In the next video, I should say. All right. Bye bye.